In this video, you guys are gonna find out how I budget my money, how I manage my money, and what is the cost of living here in Malaysia. This is gonna be a very detailed video. I'm gonna break down to every single ringgit, where it goes and all, where I invest, how I save, and what strategies I use to actually manage my money. So currently I'm a Grab rider earning around 4 to 6,000 a month. If you convert here, ringgit is around 13,000 to 19,000. I know what you're gonna say. Wow, 13,000 to 19,000, sure, easy lah, no need manage also can. Actually, that's not true. It doesn't matter how much you earn. If you do not know how to manage your money, it will disappear. Trust me, I used to be a financial advisor for AIA, and I actually met clients earning 20,000 SGD and they still have debt. And because they love to upgrade their lifestyle, at the end of the month, they couldn't even save. In fact, some of them are even in debt. So by the end of this video, you will learn how to save, invest, and actually manage your money, what to buy, what is not necessary and all. I'm going to share with you guys every single thing I do. First and foremost, let's talk about the salary, right? To do budgeting or managing money, you first need to start with how much you bring. That is very important. Currently, I'm bringing back around 13 to 19,000 depending on the hours that I actually work. But when you do budgeting and managing your money, you always want to plan based on the lowest expected income. In my case, 4,000 Sing dollars or $13,500. Why do you do this? This is actually a safer and smarter way to plan your money. If you manage your finance based on the highest salary, let's say you bring back around 15,000, alright? And then suddenly that month something happened, you fall sick and you couldn't work for like a week or so, and then your income suddenly dropped to 12,000. Your whole budgeting and your whole planning is just a mess right now, because the amount you're bringing back is actually lower. But if you plan it on the lower side, it doesn't matter if you bring back 15,000, 19,000 or anything higher, because whatever you bring back is surplus, extra, which you can use on other stuff. But for me personally, I would save and invest that extra money lah. So for this video, I'm going to use my lowest expected income, which is 13,500 ringgit. Alright, so let's break it down. So personally for me, I use the 50, 30, 20% rule. I'm pretty sure you guys heard about it, right? It's a very simple rule to follow. It's actually, anybody also can follow this rule. If you follow this rule, you're gonna do well in life, right? Just follow this rule and you'll be doing okay. So what is the 50, 30, 20 rule? Basically, it splits your salary into 3 parts. 50% needs, 30% wants, and 20% to save or invest. Also take note, if you guys want to invest more and spend less on your wants, it's up to you. If you want to cut down on your needs, you don't want to stay in an expensive place, or you don't even have a car, you can cut down on that. That's up to you. It's just a guide. Adjust accordingly to what you want and what. This is just a general rule, but if you want to adjust it to your preference, it's up to you. So for my needs, which is 50%, which is in ringgit, it's around 6,750 ringgit. I'm going to share with you every single thing that I'm actually paying for to the best of my knowledge. So for rent, I'm actually paying around 1,800 ringgit. It's not even around, it's actually 1,800 ringgit. For my Singapore bike over here, yep, I am paying around 800 ringgit, which is around $250. But I'm just going to calculate it in ringgit. For my Malaysian car, this one, I'm paying 0 ringgit because I bought it full cash. Why I can afford to buy full cash? Because I buy an old car. See? Good financial choice. Buy an old used car, you don't have to worry about monthly payment, or you don't have to worry about interest when you take loans. Good financial choice. And old car actually quite okay lah, you know, just maintain it. And then like I made a video about it, you guys can watch if you guys want to lah. Alright, for utilities, which is electric, water, internet, phone bill, it's around 750 ringgit. For your information, the water in this house is actually free. I don't know why. You ask for the city, they don't charge you water, any water bill, only electricity. For groceries, I actually put aside 450 ringgit. I know it's on the low side. You guys be like, 450 ringgit for the whole month? Yes, it's because I told my wife not to cook. Okay, this is also a financial choice because it's just the two of us, me and her. So it doesn't make sense for me to buy groceries to cook. It's actually cheaper if you eat out. Or for what I personally do, I go to those Malay nasi padang shops. I pack some, ayam masak lemak, ayam, whatever the dishes there, I put in the freezer. When I want to eat it, I actually defrost it, heat it up, cook some rice. Plus I also don't want to tire my wife lah. Plus I don't think like the energy, you need to cook and wash the dishes and all. It's unnecessary lah for 2 person. For insurance, I'm paying around 500 ringgit. And for petrol and toll for my car is around 500 ringgit. Okay, I rarely go out. And for petrol and maintenance of my bike is around 600 ringgit. So this brings the total to 5,400 ringgit. So I have a balance of around 1,300 ringgit. So what do I do with this balance? For the moment, I will actually just put it one side first in case something happens. So for this month, I actually had to do some repairs for my car, which cost me around 580 ringgit. So I would take it from this balance of the needs to actually pay for it. And let's say if I have balance after that, or I don't even use my balance, then I would just, put it inside the saving and investment portion. So let's talk about the wants, 30% to wants. Okay, this is also important. Okay, I don't want to tell you guys, oh, save everything, don't even subscribe to Netflix. You know what, just eat Maggi mee every single day. No, life is not like that. Life is about balance. If you know how to find the balance in life, you'll be happy. So for dining out and food delivery, like I told you guys, because the two of us, we just eat outside or buy food and order Grab. So we spend around 1,500 ringgit a month. And for shopping and gadgets, which I don't really do, my wife does it, it's around 800 ringgit. I don't shop. For entertainment, like Netflix, go to the movie cinema, it's around 500 ringgit. And for hobbies, I put aside around 250 ringgit. I don't know what hobbies I have also lah, but why am I putting? Must be my wife's hobby lah, which is also probably shopping lah. Which brings up the total amount to 3,050 ringgit with a balance of 1,000 ringgit. Okay, so for this balance, what I usually do is either I put into savings or investment, or maybe I open another jar and put it for like holiday. After the end of the year, you save up, let's say 1,000 a month, 12,000 a month. I probably just use that for holiday lah, because it falls under that category of wants. So let me just share with you guys how to spend wisely, how to optimize, how to be wise with your money. Alright, I'm just going to share with you just some simple tips. Number one, most importantly, do not chase the trend. I know, dude, do not buy branded stuff. If you can afford it, good for you. But personally, for me also, I feel that it's unnecessary. You are paying for the brand. Okay, so my advice, don't buy the branded stuff. And if you're like me, you're okay with like second-hand items, buy second-hand items. For me, most of the stuff I own is actually thrifted. This car is second-hand, that bike is second-hand. Some of my clothes are second-hand. I go to those like bundle or thrift shops. You can actually get good stuff, over there. Another advice is do not buy a brand new car. I always tell people, do not buy a brand new car. It's like the second biggest purchase that you ever gonna make. Second to a house lah, of course. At least a house increase in value. A car, it never increase in value. So just buy a second-hand car and you do not need to worry about the depreciation. Another tip is small expenses actually adds up. So if like you buy Starbucks every day, or it will actually add up over time. So let's say you spend like 30 ringgit on Starbucks and you times 30, that's like 900 ringgit. You can actually just buy like another car. I'm just saying. Actually, if you be very aware of where your money go, every time you spend your money, you actually write it down somewhere, you will actually tend to spend less. Because when you want to write it down, you'll be like, actually I don't buy lah. And then you realize you're actually okay with it. You're okay with not having that thing. Sometimes it's just impulse. Which brings me to my third point, emotional shopping. Don't be emotional, okay? Shop with your head, not with your heart. I don't know who said that. Maybe I say it. Finance is a logical thing, not an emotional thing. You see your friend use 16 Pro Max, you want to use 16 Pro Max. You see your friend change car, you also want to change car. I'm using a 13 Pro Max and it's still working fine. I know it's not that old, it's not that new, but it's okay. Even if I want to change phone, I won't get the latest phone. Probably get a 14 or 15 because the price probably dropped already. So it's quite okay. And to be very honest, you don't need the latest phone. What features? Are you gonna use the camera to the 100%? You can survive on an iPhone 13. Having an iPhone 13 or 16 will not change your life. It will have no impact. Trust me, it will have no impact other than that you actually save money lah when you buy the 13 Pro Max. Okay, moving on to the savings and investment, which is my favorite part. So based on the 20% of my salary, we are saving 2,700 ringgit. Wait, before you go to the comment section, you wait first. I know what you're gonna say. Hey, you bring so much, then you save so little lah. Wait, remember when I told you to manage your money based on your lowest income? This is where the magic happens. So on average, I am actually bringing back around 16,500 ringgit, which is a 3,000 ringgit surplus of what we actually used to plan for this whole management. So like I said at the start of the video, whatever surplus I will put into savings and investment. So you take that 2,700 and then you plus that 3,000 surplus, and then you plus that 1,300 from the needs balance, and then you plus another 1,000 from the wants balance. You get 8,050 ringgit a month in savings or invest. And I'm going to tell you where I save, the risk profiles, where I put my money lah, basically. Alright, first and most importantly, you need to put it in your emergency fund. If you do not have an emergency fund, have an emergency fund. Minimum 2 months. So what is an emergency fund? Like the name suggests, it is a fund for emergency. Let's say something happened. Let's say I get into an accident, which is a very probable thing when you're doing something like Grab riding. Okay, very probable. Let's say I get into an accident. 1 month I cannot work. And as you know, a Grab rider, if you don't work, No money, bro. No MC, no money. So this is where the fund actually kicks in, okay? It's not for you to like, I want to buy iPhone 16, I use my emergency fund. That is not an emergency. That is a one. I know it's tempting to take from that fund. I know. But you must be disciplined. You can do it. I can do it. You can do it. So where would I put my emergency fund? I will put it into just a regular bank account, or in Malaysia we have this thing called the ASB. It's like a savings account with a higher interest rate, but also quite liquid, where you can actually take out your money quite easily lah. It's called ASB. You guys can do more research on that. For Singaporeans, I'm sorry you guys are not entitled to this. Why I am a Singaporean and I'm entitled is because I put it under my wife's name. So find a Malaysian wife. So this is also my low risk investment place, which is, you know, zero to no risk. There's no zero to zero is no risk. There's actually like very little risk, and it's giving me around 4 to 6% per year guaranteed. For my medium risk investment, I use the Mumu app and save around 3,000 a month in that. Maybe I will do a separate video on what stocks I buy, the frequency I buy. Honestly, I want to try something. I want to invest 100 ringgit every single day and see how much we can get like after the end of the year. And for my high risk crypto, I've been buying crypto since COVID. Alright, since it was like $16,000 USD, 16,000 USD. I bought Cardano at 20 cents. I can talk about crypto. I can make another YouTube channel about crypto, but you know, I don't want to talk about crypto here. And for my crypto investments, I actually put around 1,000 ringgit a month, which brings the total to 8,000. Just nice. Sometimes less, sometimes more, depending on the surplus that I have. And as you can see, my portfolio risk is medium to high risk. If you ask me for advice, if you know what you're doing, medium to high risk, no problem. Okay, if you're doing it in a long term, it's actually not much risk. And do you know what is the biggest risk in investing? Not investing. So what can you take from me? What can you take away from this lesson? Budgeting is a must. Even if your salary, you starting is small, you just started working, you bring in back around 2,000, you need to learn how to manage that $2,000, because if you do not know how to manage that, when you get a big amount like $10,000, you wouldn't know how to manage it, and you probably just upgrade your lifestyle. I mean, you can upgrade your lifestyle if you want to, but not at the same pace as your salary growth. In fact, grow your investment, grow your savings first, then you can think about upgrading your lifestyle. Point number 2, the 50-30-20 works. I've never seen it not work. It works. Okay? It's a very simple thing to do. It's a very simple way to manage your money. In fact, you can just open 3 different accounts, transfer to that account, and just spend based on that. Have 3 different cards, up to you. Personally, if you ask me, use Wise. Wise have this thing called jars. Wise is very useful. Use Wise. I put a link in my description. Use it. I have jars for everything. Just open the app. You see, it's very useful. Better than your average bank. And also invest early. You know, I'm making this video actually talking to my younger self. I wish I can talk to my younger self like this. So if you're like in your early 20s, you're doing Grab, you're hustling, I wish I started earlier. And I wish I had a bigger brother that actually tells me like this: save your money. This is how you do it. So if you're wondering like why I'm doing all this, to be very honest, it's really because I'm the oldest son and I don't have an older brother. So I wish I had someone telling me all this. And you know, they don't teach you this kind of things in school. You have to go to YouTube to learn this kind of thing. You have to learn yourself, or your father need to tell you. My father also, I don't know, go where. So now I want to hear from you guys. What is your biggest financial challenge, and how would you manage your money if you move to Malaysia? And if you want a deep dive on like where I invest, what stocks I buy, how I buy it, and all, the Mumu app and all, either Singapore or Malaysia, also both also I'm using. So if you guys want me to do a video on that, let me know. I'll do it for you guys, because you know, you guys are like my little brothers and sisters. And thank you guys for 1,000 subs. Bro, I only started doing this like last week and we're already going to go to 1.5k. I won't cry, actually I won't cry. You guys are amazing. I love you guys. And let's go guys, let's go. I'm glad that you guys are part of my journey. I don't want to make videos like educational. I want it to be a journey where you guys can be a part of. I want to be your friend. I hope you guys will support me, and definitely we will do some charities. Like I said, I just got my first sponsor and it happens really fast. I told my wife that, you know what, I can't believe this is happening. I'm gonna bless other people. I feel so blessed that I want to bless other people. I'm gonna take that sponsorship money, everything, I'm gonna give it to an orphanage here in Johor Bahru, and I'm gonna make a video about it and I'm gonna share you guys. And it's not from me, it's from you guys. It's because you guys support me. This donation will not be from me, but it will be from you guys, because you guys made it happen. So I'm gonna do it on behalf of you guys and that sponsorship. So stay tuned for that video. Ciao.